Okay, I've never live streamed before, but we're gonna go ahead and give this a try. So hopefully this will be interesting and educational. Just had to fix my settings right there. So I've already started working on this right here, my picture of injury. And I've used Copic and a little bit of white colored pencil. You can hear my kid in the background.
Downstairs and dance with Grandpa?
Trying out this Copic opaque white. I've never used this before, but I thought I'd give it a try. I also have this premium ink from Copic. This is all new stuff, so I've never actually used it before. And then Art White. This also came from the Copic stand. Went to Denver Comic Con and they had a booth there, and so I went crazy and bought all sorts of new stuff that I've never tried before, including this brush, which is pretty cool. It's a Fude brush. Unfortunately, it's not refillable at this point. I guess they're working on making it so you can refill it, because otherwise you just go through ink really fast. I think they're like $7 or $8 each, and that's just really expensive. But if you're traveling and you can't bring an inkwell like normal, I use a lot of ink, and taking that on an airplane and traveling makes it really, really difficult. So this is a good option. But unfortunately you can go through the ink really fast. So I try to just save it for when I'm traveling, but when I'm here at home, there's really no point. And then I've been using Prismacolor pencils. And then I also use, what are they called? Kohl erase. So they're Prismacolor as well. Kohl erase, they have a eraser on them, and they're made so you can actually erase them, which I think is nice. So I'm just touching up this picture. It's almost done, and I figured I'm doing art. I might as well stream it because I've never really done that before. It might be fun. People might think it's interesting. So yeah, mostly Copic with a little bit of white pencil, and then you can see her cheeks. They're kind of rosy, so I just did a little touch of, the Kohl erase red, just to kind of emphasize the face a little bit. And it'll just draw your eye right there because it's the only place that has a different color. So I use a Raphael 8404 brush, Kolinsky. This is just a size 1. I put tape on my cover so I could find it. So let's give this a try. I've never done this. Get a little test paper real quick. I don't know what this is. It's really, really thick. Not sure how this is going to work. It dries like really fast. Don't want to actually use it on my art until I'm sure it's what I want to use. Usually in the past I've used, let's see if I can find it. So I use it traditionally, or usually I've used this Sharpie acrylic based pen. It's just like whiteout. The only thing is after a while it kind of yellows. So I mean, it's great if I'm just using it temporarily for whiteout and then I scan it in and make edits. But if I'm working on like a strictly traditional piece that I want to showcase later as an original, and it looks unprofessional to have it kind of yellowing. So I need to go find something to mix this. I will be right back. Sorry. And since I have kids, I always close everything when I leave the table. Otherwise, accidents happen. Okay, be right back.
What? You already got someone?
Okay. Should have been a little bit more prepared, but whatever. It's really thick paint, so I'm not really sure how well this is going to work. I might have to try the other kind. It's like I assume that you use it with a brush, but maybe that's not actually the case. That's better. Look at that. It's kind of smoother now. Hope you don't mind that it's kind of sideways. I can't figure out how to set up my tripod so it's not in the way of me drawing, but also having it right up. So we've laid down a little bit of white pencil, and now I just want to really push the whites. Not sure what I think about this. It might just take some getting used to. It's kind of weird. It's not laying very well. Sorry, my head's in the way. Ugh. Okay, I might actually try the other ink and see how that goes. Maybe it's not as thick because it's just, I might need to water it down. But then it might not be as opaque. I mean, it's got a cap on it, which is pretty nice since if you're traveling, it doesn't explode. Use my spoon. Oh, so look, it's like super thick. So I don't think this is gonna work either. Okay. It's also not very full, so I wonder if like the water leaked out of it. Okay, we're not gonna try to use that. I might just stick with my handy dandy whiteout Sharpie pen for today, which might yellow a little bit, but at this point, I'm not sure I really care. And now I just got white all over my hand. Oh, there it goes. Whiteout. So I do need to be a little bit careful, make sure I don't accidentally smear it with my hand. There we go. Maybe at some future point I'll figure out how to use this Copic ink stuff and it'll work better. So I see there's actually one person watching right now. I don't know what it looks like from your side, but I don't know if you can leave comments. But if you can, I have my chat box opened. So if you have any questions for me, I'd be more than happy to answer them while I'm drawing. I don't know if you can hear my family making funny noises in the background, but I can. That's pretty interesting. See if I could zoom in real quick. Oh, got a little bit on my hand. Ooh. Well, I don't know if you saw that. Got dots. We'll make it work. Part of being an artist is knowing how to fix mistakes, right? It's another thing working with these types of materials or mediums is try not to smear it after you laid it down. Okay. That's looking pretty good. Yeah, see if we can figure out a way to make this white blob look like it's supposed to be here. Sorry. Too busy looking at the art, not paying attention to what you guys can actually see on the screen. Oh. There we go. That looks pretty good. See, an accident added a whole new depth to this picture because I wasn't planning on doing these cool little, what do you call these, lens flare thingies until that happened. So that's kind of fun. Happy accidents. Is that from what, Bob Ross? Does he have? No, he has happy trees. Maybe he has happy accidents too. It's been so long since I've watched Bob Ross. It's interesting because my preview that I'm looking at on my computer is actually mirrored. So there's actually one trick in art that you mirror what you're looking at to see if you see any mistakes. And now I can just look over at my computer screen and be like, oh yeah, this is messed up. This is messed up. I could use some art here. Or, you know, stuff like that. It's just easy little reference right there. Don't even have to get a mirror or flip it in Photoshop. It's looking pretty good.
What happened?
Screaming child. Oh yeah. gonna grab my white pencil. So where I don't want to be like super punchy, just grab my pencil instead. So I can do just little faint outlines down here. Just adds a little bit more depth. Just adds a little bit of dimension into the piece. You put like little highlights, reflected white in the darker areas. It's looking pretty good. Okay, grab my Copic. I used neutral gray on her and then warm gray on the background. So that way it just makes her stand out a little bit more. So we're going to do a little bit of the warm gray back here to kind of punch this triangle. This contrast is very good. Probably the thing I have the most trouble with when I'm working traditionally is punching the contrast, because you just have to keep laying down more and more ink or pencil or whatever. It's just tedious. I guess I just give up after a while. It just makes it stand out a little bit more. Is that right? I think I'm missing a line there. Let's find out. I am. Well, here we go. When we add that darker gray to the background like that, just kind of pushes the lights so it looks like it's glowing even more. One thing that drives me a little bit crazy with Copics is when they dry, they tend to dry lighter, so when I'm initially laying it down, it's kind of hard to tell what it'll actually look like. Sometimes I have to keep going back in and adding more just to keep that contrast up. All right. I think at this point the whites are pretty much done. I just need to fix up some of these black lines, which I'm going to do using my little brush here. Okay. We're just going to use Higgins. Actually, I'm going to open this up and see what it looks like. Oh, that looks like really just normal ink. So I think I'm going to give this a try, see how it goes. If not, we'll just go back to what I know how to use. My big fat head's in the way, sorry. Just going to test it out on this paper. Yeah, that looks good. I'll have to test and see if it's darker than the Higgins. All right. Just going to fix up these fingertips because the white kind of overlapped in some parts and just makes it look a little messy. So we're just going to fix it up. I guess at this point, it's just like the little details that need to be fixed and put in before I call it finished. There, see, that looks better. Put her thumbnail back in there. So I got covered up with the white out. I used to do all of my inks, my black line art with copic pens or micron pens. And then my friend convinced me that I should move to a brush. And at first I didn't really like it because I just wasn't used to it. But after a while, there's just so much variation in brush stroke that is just so much faster in the long run. So now that when I have to travel and I have to go back to using a pen Copics, it's just like pulling hair out because it just takes so long and you don't get the beautiful variations and width. Yeah. Now I can just really push those darks. So I think when you put down the line art first and then you do like Copic and pencils over them, it tends to lighten the lines. And so just going back in and pushing and doing them over again, it just really pushes the blacks, makes it a lot more beautiful. Again, that contrast is nice. And the nice thing about these Sharpie whiteout pens is because they're acrylic, you can actually paint over them. Whereas if you use the oil base, then it just does not work. It just looks awful. Once you lay something down, it's pretty much there permanently. You can't cover it up. don't think this ink dries as fast as the Higgins. So you just have to be careful. I don't smear what I put down already. I'm left-handed, if you didn't notice that, and in the past, I'd actually, growing up, I really liked manga. I mean, I still do, but I was so into manga and I was left-handed that it just made sense. I did all my comics, actually drew them right to left, so in this direction, so when I was coloring or drawing, my hand wouldn't mess up my artwork. I'd actually make all my notebooks. I'd read them from the back, or right from the back to forward, and all that, because you get the spine in the way, and you know, left-handed people problems. Yeah, it's looking good. Sorry it's sideways for you guys, but I still haven't figured out how to set up a good way where I'm actually like, where the camera's over my head. That was kind of sloppy. So I'm trying to be super careful. At the very end, I don't want to mess up. Yeah, I got some smears on there. Okay, I think we're done with that. You gotta always put your cap on, otherwise your brush gets ruined. Let's see. I think I want to fix one little thing. Pop into that thing. I think it's just about done. Can't really think of anything else to put on it. I'm sure I'll come up with stuff later, because I always do, but at this point, I think it's pretty much done. Ta-da! What do you guys think? Look pretty good? I think it turned out pretty good, especially since I did most of it on the road, and it was just supposed to be a quick little study, like just trying out the toned paper, which I discovered I really, really like. Anyway, so you guys have any comments for me about live streaming, things I could do better? Because this is my first time really doing it. Be sure to put that in the comments section. You can follow me. I don't really know what that means at this point, but people say it on their YouTube. So yeah, follow my channel. And I will do art with you guys some other time. Bye.